Hello everyone, here we are in another tournament game. Today we have the 1 seed Perfect versus the 8 seed Lead Pink. It is another round of 8 game today. It ought to be a good one. But first, our map and enemy selection. Perfect, you are the high seed today. Do you want the map or the enemy?
I want the map, please.
You want the map, alright. And what are we going to be doing with the map?
Vertical, please.
Vertigo. Alright, so Firebase Vertigo. And then Lead Pink, you have the choice of the enemy. What enemy do you want? There, Lead Pink?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. I think you were muted for a second. There you go. All right, no, you're good. What enemy do you want here for this first game?
Ket.
We're doing Ket. All right, so it's going to be Gold, Vertigo, Ket. So at this point, go ahead and get the characters you guys want. Go ahead and put on your non-variant weapons that you're going to be using. Go ahead and get your boosters on, and we shall get ready for this round of 8 matchup, the 1 seed Perfect versus the 8 seed Lead Pink. It ought to be a good one. Let's take a look here. Looks like boosters are on, non-variant weapons. We're good to go. My co-host is Red Dread here today. Go ahead and ready up when you guys are good to go, and we shall get the match underway. So Lead Pink is ready, Perfect is ready. Let me do that check one more time. Yep, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and get into the match. But first, as always, loading screen. Calm before the storm. I will be following one of my contestants here, and if you have been following the other videos, you know that I usually start off with the higher seed, so that'll be Real Perfect here today. That's a little Easter egg behind the scenes. And Red Dread will be following the other one, which will be the 8 seed Lead Pink. Let's see if I remember to actually switch off properly between our contestants. I've had difficulties with that before in the past, but hey, you know what? It's all good. I get into the action a lot. I start shoutcasting, and then I lose track of what's actually going on in terms of whom I'm following.
So much excitement.
Exactly. I get into it a little bit, but hey, I mean, it makes it fun. But alright, loading screen's almost over. We'll get into the match shortly. I'll be following, as I said, Perfect. Co-host. Be following Lead Pink, who is Red Dread today. Alright, here we are. Contestants are going to their starting position. We'll see where that is. Perfect getting over here to the back of the map. Looks like the back center position, so I will sit behind here and see where he goes. Lead Pink, okay, going over to the right of Perfect, maybe spawn blocking possibly. But Perfect probably has a plan for that, and he does. Good positioning by Perfect, and Lead Pink... Okay, going to the front of that spawn, so we're going to do sort of a pincer maneuver here on both groups of enemies. I think there might have been a double spawn down there, but really not too terribly much. There'll be more spawning across the map soon enough. So let's check the early score, 500 to 200, Perfect on top. I'd like to say it is very early days, only 33 seconds into the matchup. Perfect working these top positions, trying to make sure he has the high ground. Lead Pink right now, seeing what he can get a little bit lower. Perfect does have a dog behind him a little bit here, but looks like Lead Pink will take care of that, and Perfect doesn't care too much. Should turn around to take a quick look, but trying to go to some different enemies now, and does have some over here, using that range to his advantage. Good character for this map. Some over on LZ, but once again, easily taken care of on that perch position. Lead Pink working the back of the map, had a few enemies, and does take care of it. More spawning on this left side if you're looking toward LZ. It looks like Lead Pink is in the trenches here. Perfect is up top still, so he is trying to maintain that high ground, a better vantage point throughout the entire map, at least in the center. Down to the last few enemies, looks like Perfect will take that one out easily. And he does, and at the end of Wave 1, it is 3,400 to 1,400, Perfect on top, following Lead Pink here for Wave 2. We'll see what he does in response, but first, some nades. Alright, enemies are on the field, both taking the high positioning here on this map, both going to the left side. Lead Pink trying to get into the action, once again, a little bit lower here. Perfect still up towards the top. But Lead Pink, not deterred, going straight toward another spawn of enemies, trying to drop down into trenches once again. Not too terribly much over here by LZ, but getting what he can. But Perfect, though, does get a nice combo and some extra kills. So that will help him out in the long run, especially with the assist score. He'll be building that through the waves. Let me get out of Lead Pink's way. He has some enemies he would like to focus on, and he is going back toward LZ. Couple race, but once again, Perfect in a good position to take care of them. Go ahead and check score again. 5,100 to 2,300. Perfect still holding on to the lead. And trying to build it here in Wave 2. Back to the back of the map. Lead Pink goes. Taking care of that spawn pretty dang quickly. Not too terribly much. Once again, focus goes back towards a new spawn into the center of the map. Takes care of one, but leaves the Wraith alive, actually. We'll clean that up maybe later. Side by side, both of our contestants. Now Lead Pink has the high ground, but not for long. Just jumped into the air. Has a couple race on him and a Chosen, so he needs to clear that out. But it's down to last few, and at the end of Wave 2, which ended pretty abruptly there, 6,700 to 3,400. Real Perfect still leads. Will be following Perfect here on Wave 3, and it is a hack. We'll see what our contestants decide to do with this hack. Alright, it is on the field. It looks like Perfect is heading toward it, so I will also be following him over here. So Perfect looks like he is going to go ahead and sit on that. Cobra comes out from Perfect. That was, I can dare to say, a perfect Cobra. Lots of enemies on that one. And he has the Ascendant and should be able to take it down with the range of his paw. So does get a lot of enemies starting out here. Now using the range advantage to try to get enemies coming into it. And Lead Pink now joins the party over the hack, so he wants some extra points from the hacking progress. Wraith in here, but he goes flying backwards. Check that score again. 8,700 to 4,200. Perfect building a lead here. Real Perfect goes down, but does get himself back up and back into the action. Not too bad right now. Cobra came out, I believe, from someone. I heard it over there. Red Dread, did you see who launched the Cobra?
Yep. Almonds launching Cobras.
Alright, Lead Pink's now launching the Cobras, trying to get... And that is, looks like it is a good one. Ascendant, Chosen, and the Orb on the Ascendant, so that does help him out a bit. So Lead Pink now going off a little bit. Trying to get some extra kills, but looks like Perfect is still over here. Trying to get what he can. Still getting the objective score and extra enemies that are coming in. He's actually had a decent stream, but now deciding to go ahead and leave before the hack is done. I'll go ahead and remain here to finish it up. There is an enemy here, but does leave, and this will be done. So Falling Perfect once again has his high ground. Lead Pink once again lower through the center of the map. Check score another time, 14-9 to 18-8. Perfect doing well here with that upper position. Lead Pink needs to get himself in a better position, possibly to get some of these spawns earlier on to counteract that range advantage that Perfect has had up top. But right now the positioning has switched. Perfect is now down lower, and Lead Pink is taking the top. But down to the last few enemies here on Wave 3. It will be cleanup time, but it's not going to take too terribly long as that Wraith goes flying. And we should be at an end very, very soon. And at the end of Wave 3, we have 15-4 to 10-2. Perfect still in the lead. We'll be following Lead Pink here on Wave 4. Lead Pink right beside Red Dread as he comes over to follow Perfect. So let's see where Lead Pink is going. He's going toward the front of the map where there is a decent, actually double spawn. One on the actual LZ and one to the right from my position right now. But Perfect still, with that range advantage, is able to get tons of enemies. So he's really using that to his advantage. Lead Pink, who I'm following here, needs to go ahead and get a couple good spawns to get back into this a little bit more. And he might have that back here, getting some. But then that's going to reverse the field again, so Perfect will have more coming his way. Fiend is on the field, though. That could help out one of our contestants, but probably smartly leaving it for last. Don't want to fall into the traditional boss trap that some of the newer players would usually get sucked into beating on these higher tiered opponents in terms of health. It usually takes away their time to kill all the other little enemies to gain extra points. So that is a common one. Ooh, sync kill possibly coming, but it looks like he was out of range. Side by side, both of our contestants are, but usually just in passing here, as it has been so far in this matchup. Not really fighting over the same spawns too terribly much. Alright, let me go ahead and get behind him, out of the way. More enemies coming down here on Lead Pink at the back of the map. Check score, 19,000 to 12-1. Perfect still in that lead. Lead Pink goes down, is waiting for revive, though. And he is back up, back into the action. No movement actually here from Lead Pink. Is everything okay on your end, Lead Pink? Not sure what's going on actually here. Looks like Perfect is still moving, Red Dread's still moving, Lead Pink has stopped. We might have lost Lead Pink. Or maybe he stepped away. Alright, if we do not hear from Lead Pink in just a couple seconds here, we will finish, I guess, this wave. Lead Pink, are you there? He just moved his character. Perfect, can you hear me?
My controller died. It said
Oh,
I couldn't-
okay.
It was
Okay.
like, it was acting up. It was like dragging me to the side of the screen. I couldn't move, and then it just said no active controller.
Alright, so you are back then. So we'll go ahead and finish this wave up, and we'll get back into the action. Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Alright, so we'll finish that one. After a slight technical difficulty, we'll go ahead and get back into this. So somebody, I guess, take out this enemy. Lead Pink, I guess, if you want to do it, because you did have a momentary disadvantage, so just take him out. Or Perfect, that is perfectly fine. So, okay, after that slight conundrum there on Wave 4, going on the Wave 5, it is 21-6 to 12-4. Following Perfect now for me. Had to think about that one for a second. So, alright, back into the action. Hopefully some normal gameplay here. Big spawn for Perfect! And an amazing Cobra! Absolutely demolishes that spawn. And Lead Pink's out there once again in the thick of it, in the center, trying to get what he can, but Perfect's still killing it with the range game. A little bit more spread out the enemies are now, but looks like they are starting to convene. But, oh, here comes the Fiend! And luckily, both of our contestants get away from that, mainly Perfect. Looks like he was very close to it, but most likely knew it was there. But it's following Perfect now. Looks like he's trying to get right to him. Possible sync kill, but no, he gets away. That Fiend really wants him. Looks like he is going to take him out. Man, that Fiend was after him for quite some time. It does take care of him and back into the action with the smaller enemies trying to get what he can. Let's go ahead and peek across here. Red Dread and Lead Pink are at the other end right now. And Perfect's still holding down this back of the map where he has been for the majority of this wave, I'll say. And speaking of the wave, we are down to the last few enemies already, so Wave 5 was a pretty quick one. The Ascendant will not be long for this world, and after him, there's only one enemy left. And after that enemy goes flying, and at the end of the wave, it is 26-5 to 14-3, Perfect on top, heading into Wave 6, following Lead Pink. We have an upload. We'll see what happens.
Oh, off the screen.
Oh, did you jump off the map?
Yep.
That's okay, I do that often. So, alright, following Lead Pink here, where did he go? He is over here. We'll follow him down here. And two of the objectives are on this side. And that Fiend is gone! Lead Pink goes down, waiting for revive, and get him back up momentarily. And there he is, back up. So it looks like there are two over here, one across the other way, so our contestants will be content to hold down this one side by side, fighting over the same enemies as they come on in. Getting flanked a little bit, but looks like they'll take care of it quickly once again as they come down the stairs. Shouldn't really be too terribly much pressure on these high-powered contestants. Alright, one is done. Check score, 27-8 to 16-5. Perfect. A good lead here. Moving into the second objective. Looks like we're just going to kind of go around the map and get them done one at a time. At least that's what our contestants are doing. Let me go ahead and get out of the way, see what they're looking at. Oh, a Fiend and an Ascendant. So some big health bars coming this way. But we're going to be moving anyways, because this one is done. We'll see what our contestants do if they decide to go for the last one or not. Looks like Perfect is going for it. Lead Pink, who I'm following on this wave, is also going for it. So I'll go ahead and go over here with Lead Pink. And he is in there getting his objective points. Looks like Perfect is deciding to stay out of this one and going for some extra kills off of LZ. And now Lead Pink is out there, so he's going to go get some extra kills as well. So I'll go ahead and keep it here in the objective and watch from afar. And Red Dread will go ahead and try to stay somewhat equidistant between them to make sure they do get a revive if one of them does go down. However, Lead Pink is coming back now, so it looks like he has decided to get some extra objective points, but it's not going to be that much since it is done. So now, back to following Lead Pink fully here for cleanup on Wave 6. It is 31-6 to 20,300. Perfect in the lead still in this round of 8 matchup. This is game number 1, by the way, of this round of 8 matchup between these two. Alright, Lead Pink over here. Let's go ahead and close the distance a bit, see what he is fighting. It looks like it is Ascendant right here on the stairwell. And that is one of the last 3. Will be cleaned up very, very shortly. Going to try to get rid of this one small enemy first, but Perfect with the throw does take that one. And at the end of Wave 6, it is 33-8 to 20,900. Perfect in the lead, and I'll be following Perfect here on Wave 7. So Perfect here needs to make sure he extracts, because like to say in this tournament, if you do not extract, you do not win the game or advance. In this, you would just not win the game. However, if both contestants would go down, we do have a new rule, which we had to implement already this year, where we would replay the match. And there's a phone, so please ignore that for a second. It just signifies maybe the end of this matchup. I can use that to my advantage. But alright, Perfect. Overhead of me right now, trying to go ahead and hold this small spot here. It looks like he's doing a good job. Really not much spawning in behind him, but there are a few enemies coming in. Smartly drops back a bit, though, to try to deal with them, to make sure he doesn't get flanked. I'll go ahead and watch from up here a little bit. Approaching a minute 30 to go in this matchup. Perfect has a good position back here with enemies coming in. Just needs to make sure he stays alive. Repositioning, very smart idea. Lead Pink needs to do whatever he can to try to get some extra points. Minute 20 to go, 35-5 to 21-5. Both contestants in a hard-fought matchup. And there are more enemies encroaching here on Perfect. Red Dread, how's it look down there with Lead Pink? A lot of enemies or not too terribly much?
Yeah, quite a bit of action down here.
Quite a bit.
A lot of fiends and ascendants.
Yeah, back here looks like Perfect just cleared everything out. A few more spawning on the opposite side, but he is pushing up now, so he has made himself some room as we approach the end of this matchup. Looks like Perfect is slowly making his way to LZ. Lead Pink around the center of the map. I'm sure he'll be doing the same soon. 40 seconds to go in this matchup. Perfect once again taking that high ground, watching from a little bit of afar, but I can easily close the gap if need be. 30 seconds to go, so cross-map revives are off the table. And I'm sure everybody will be heading to LZ soon. So Lead Pink is already here. Red Dread is here with him. I'm already here, and looks like Perfect will be coming very soon. Less than 15 seconds to go in this matchup. 38-9 to 23-4. And there's a lot of fire inbound as long as they stay alive, which I think they will. And at the end of the matchup, it is Real Perfect on top, 40,400 to 25,100. So a good victory here for Perfect. As I said, 40,400 to 25,100. Perfect takes game 1 of this series. But first, I would like to talk to you, Lead Pink. You fought hard in this matchup. I know you had a slight problem with your controller there. I know that might have messed you up a bit.
Oh, that don't make a difference.
But it was still a hard-fought matchup. Anything to say about this one?
No, he outplayed me. You know, he's a great player. More power to him. He got me good. The distance. When he picked that guy, I was gonna pick somebody else with the same distance, but I was like, it probably isn't gonna make a difference. So it was good. I had fun. That was a good game, and I'm happy with it.
Well, as long as you had fun, like I said, it was a good matchup.
Absolutely.
And hey, like to say, that's game 1. We have got game 2 coming up, but for this one, Perfect, you do take the victory here, 40,400 to 25,100. How do you feel about this victory?
Yeah, very good match. That Pink's very good player. Interesting how he played a Juggernaut with the Fortifier, I saw.
Yeah, people play the characters differently sometimes, but hey, some strategies work, other strategies maybe not the best, but it's all about playing the game in different ways and figuring out what works for you. But all right, guys, great game 1, and we will see everybody in game number 2. See you next time.